finally got 1,000 subscribers, and I was so excited.
Okay, talk about your film background.
Yeah, so I have a film background, and it may look kind of obvious in my videos. I'm actually the person that does all the filming. A lot of people swear that I have a crew or a cameraman, and they make comments, about the cameraman and stuff. But there is no cameraman, just me. When I was probably about 19, 20, around 20 years of age, I wanted to be in I wanted to be in film, in movies. I wanted to be an actor. I actually started out with the idea of being an actor. I thought that'd be really interesting and that'd be cool. And I had a great interest in doing that. And it was probably well, actually, what I started with, a friend of mine got an old VHS, one of those big cameras, a VHS camcorder. Put in the big VHS tape and record, and we started making movies. Me and a few friends, we would get together, and we made the most ridiculous, I mean, stupid movies. They were so bad, and some of them they were so bad that we would imitate Chinese or some other Asian language, and we would dub over the sound, and we would purposely mismatch it, not even lip sync it and stuff. It would be just to make it more comical. And we had like a series called Paws of Furry, where there was a movie called Paws of Fury. We made Paws of Furry, where the hero was this cat, and we did like
Is it Fist of
three.
Fury?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm sorry, Fists of Fury was the original. Yeah, and we made it Paws of Furry, and people loved it. It was so funny. I would like to put it on YouTube sometime. That would be great. But they're terrible, terrible. I mean, we had just the most basic equipment, and we did the best we could. We had fun with it. But it was then that I'm like, I want to make movies. I love that process so much, and I wanted to make movies. And so I ended up. I was already married at that time. I got married really young, but I had a decent paying job. I was able to live on, and I decided, well, I wanted to make it. I decided to take a class, and I thought a good place to start would be an acting class. And so I took an acting class, and I fell in love with it. I really loved the acting. So I started pursuing acting, and I started doing some extra work and trying to get little whatever parts I could. And most of the parts I got were Spanish speaking because I had less competition. I guess either I wasn't a very good actor or I don't know, but it over the years I never had like success in it. I mean, I would get a small part here and there that was non-union, paid very little or something, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. And I was also at the time, because I was didn't have money for headshots, which you would go to a photographer and they would charge this enormous amount of money for headshots. So I was like, shoot, I'm not gonna pay $500 or something, and so I had a camera, and I used to do some photography, and so I thought I would just focus on doing some photography. So I started practicing photography more and more, and I did that for the purpose of taking my own headshots, and so I started falling in love with photography. So I liked the acting and I liked the photography. I liked being both behind and in front of the camera, and so those kind of complemented each other, and I kind of pursued photography for a while. It seemed to be an easier way for me to make money at the time, and I would get occasional acting or extra jobs on the side as well. And I had a regular full time job too. I was never able to leave that because I had a family to support and everything. But that went on for years. It went on for years. The recession hit, and my photography business pretty much was wiped out like almost overnight. My income plummeted, and things really changed. I got into stock photography, started selling stock photography online over several years. I built a library of like 5,000 plus images, something like that. I'm not even sure exactly. And was getting residual income from that, and that gave me some a little bit of liberty, a little bit of freedom to it gave me a constant monthly income that I was able to depend on, and that helped to supplement my full time job income. So things were going a little bit better, but I had trouble getting like a good job that paid well. And so it seemed like every jobs, my income from jobs just kept going down and down and down. But fortunately, I had some stock photography, so it was always a struggle. And I started doing YouTube, and I loved making videos. put up a few videos, and then there was a time we were living in Mexico, and this was really a turning point because I got out of paying rent in the United States, in San Diego specifically, where the rent was so high. Um, we went down to Mexico. My wife's father was ill, and she wanted to take care of him, and so we put our stuff in storage and went down there. And I was coming here to do some jobs. I started working at a modeling agency also, so I was getting some modeling jobs. So it was going better, and so I was able to live off of that and doing the stock photography. And so I had a lot of time, a lot of extra time to do other things when I was down in Mexico and stuff. So I started going on some solo trips out into the jungle or different really cool destinations down there, and I'd make videos and start uploading those on YouTube. And so, anyways, nothing really happened until I got to. I did this trip to Puerto Rico, to Isla Culebra, Snake Island in English, and I made a series there. And I put that on. This is when I started getting serious about YouTube. Before I did the trip, I was like, I had this idea to do like this 10-part or multiple day episodes of my trip of this. It'd be like survival. It was camping. It was like a really difficult camping trip, exploring the whole island. And I did. I shot it. It was hard as hell. It was so difficult. I suffered dehydration really bad at times. I got a little worried. It was tough. Mosquito bites and a lot of issues. But it was a fantastic experience. I came back just so energized, feeling really great, and started editing. And that took a long time because my editing skills were not very good, and that was one of the biggest things that kind of held me back. But I really pushed through and made them pretty good. It's like a TV show. It had a really good feel to it. They were doing pretty good. Actually, that first year, I had a couple videos start to take off, and I started actually making money on YouTube with that. And it was like I got excited when I made 50, or I think the first month that I actually had earnings, it was like something like $75. And this is after having my channel for several years. I mean, like 5 years or something, and not making anything. So I made 75, and I started seeing potential. I could see, it can go bigger. It can go bigger. I got this many subscribers. And it wasn't, it wasn't until the following year when I finally got 1,000 subscribers. It took that long. I finally got 1,000 subscribers, and I was so excited.
So were you putting stuff out regularly, or was it?
No, not regularly.
Fragmented.
It was very fragmented. I wanted to put something out once a week, but it just wasn't happening because I was working a lot. Actually, I wasn't working so much. No, at this point, I was just so slow at editing because my family was still in Mexico. So I still had time, but I was just so slow at editing. And so it was very frustrating. I hated the editing process. And I have so much material I haven't even edited. It's from years ago. But I got better through that process. I improved. And I got a little bit excited about that. I put out a few more videos. I was kind of just trying different things. I had some success with the Snake Island series. I made some money off of it. And so that was very positive, And then it was when I started. Now I was already very familiar with there's a channel called Primitive Technology, which is super big on YouTube, really big. This guy is the one that started that whole genre. I believe it was him. At least is the biggest one, the first one to really make it successful. And he's this guy in Australia. He doesn't speak at all in his videos, and he does these phenomenal creations, building these structures out of mud and sticks, and making fire primitively by hand and with wood friction. Pottery, all kinds of stuff. He makes like this little community out in the forests in Australia, and his videos get millions and millions of views. So there was some inspiration there, but I didn't want to be like a copycatter and do the same thing. And I've had interests in this kind of stuff for a long time, and I thought, well, shoot, I think it'd be really cool if I can do something kind of similar, but make it different and add a cinematic element to it. Shoot it in a way that I know other people are not shooting their videos. Because I think his are shot with just his phone. The angles aren't that creative. The different shots, the sound. no big deal. The saturation of colors isn't good. It's not done professional. It doesn't look professional. It's a show and tell, just done very basic probably with a cell phone, but nonetheless hugely successful. So I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to make it kind of like movies, like a documentary. And I thought I would do the same thing and not talk, because I'd done many videos where I talk and I'm explaining things, and it just felt so cheesy. It just always felt cheesy, and I'm rehearsing and I'm practicing my lines, because I'm terrible. I'm terrible doing improv. Just like start talking or whatever. I'll trip on a word or something and want to start over. So I'm going to eliminate that problem and not even talk as well.